Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to the Strides and Vibes podcast. I hope you all ended the year 2025 on a high. And on this upward trajectory, let's keep going. Okay. Why am I on my own? Very simple. This podcast is definitely not about me. As I keep repeating, it's all about the guests. So here I am, just a few minutes. This is going to be a really short podcast. So saying thank you to everybody who sends me messages, reviews, listens in, shares the Strides and Vibes podcast with their community. And obviously, most importantly of all the guests that came on. You know, you all know we've had great guests. They were all fantastic. They gave up an hour or two of their time. We had doctors on, nutritionists, coaches, running coaches, life coaches, all walks of life, all different views. We all connect through running, but we all know this is not a running podcast. This is about sharing what other people know a lot about. So this is the theme I want to carry on as well into 2026. So just quickly, I'm not a big believer in New Year's resolutions. I'm rather like going along 12 months a year, 365 days a year. If there's small improvements that can be made, I usually try and attack them immediately. It's like a little niggle when you run. It's better if it's a 2 out of 10, you see a specialist and suddenly the pain goes away because we're doing the right thing rather than waiting till it's a 7 out of 10 and then we're sidelined and so on. We all know that downward spiral and that bad downward trajectory. Now, on a huge positive, I do a previous year review with myself, and that goes at work, my coaching, myself, everything. So what do? I usually just have a quick look what behaviors, actually worked or drove results, depending on what drives us, What drained a lot of energy or focus? That's another very important part, probably. And where did I show up? All the time. Where was I actually good, consistent? Yes, I know the first podcast could have been better from a technical perspective. We have upgraded a little bit as we invest in this podcast, and I listen to a lot of podcasts, so it's quite fine. It's a lot of fun, and to see what equipment other people have. I've learned a lot from my dear friend and fellow or co-host on the 1%ers podcast. For those of you who haven't listened to that one yet, head over there on Spotify or Apple Tunes or wherever you download your favorite podcasts and have a listen to the 1%ers Performance podcast. There we discuss other matters, not just running and stuff. So very interesting stuff. But then, last but not least, when I do that previous year review, I have a quick look what actually needs to stop. So what's drained me completely, what's not going anywhere. And I had a chat with my dear friend Tim Buxton just a couple of days ago where we were talking about funneling, where we want to go, what we want to do. So it's a little bit like this salesy talk, which is good. Sales funnel, or they call it pipeline, whatever it is. It's good. Just focus on one thing. Do that really, really well. So looking ahead, I'm really excited. We've got a few guests lined up already from all walks again, all to do with our body, wellness, health, fitness a little bit. Yes, we are connected through running in one way, shape or form. We'll have some race directors on as well. So we're going to talk about what hard work goes into doing a race, for instance. We're going to have a strength coach on. We're going to have other coaches on, business development coaches, people like that. Then, of course, from the health field, hopefully we can drag another doctor in, which would be fantastic to speak about certain things. In terms of Healthetica coaching, as you all know, this is my little business that we run, coaching business. So corporate coaching, run coaching, ultra running coaching, and so on. We were lucky enough to get another coach on now, Sophie Garrity. She'll come on to the show as well. We'll be talking about women in running, women's safety in running. I'm hoping to get a doctor on that'll talk to us about, or a specialist that's going to talk to us about how to train and how to coach and how to, deal with women as they go through different periods of their life, in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and things like that, just to give us that overall holistic view when we talk to people. Don't forget, everybody always has a story. If we listen in a bit, that's definitely something I had to learn as well. So I'm forever grateful for all the coaches and specialists in their field that came on in 2025 when we started this little adventure. It's always been a dream of mine to have a podcast. So luckily it's come to fruition. We still have a few improvements to make. Sound quality is sometimes not great, so I still apologize here to Gabriel Lombrise. That was not very good. The podcast was great. He was fantastic. His knowledge was, brilliant. But yeah, my audio was a little bit off that day. So we're hoping to record that again, hopefully in our mother tongue, Swiss German. So we'll approach the Swissies here a little bit this year. So with all going well, he'll come back on. So yeah, so I'm going to close it out here now. Again, thank you for listening in. For people who are welcoming back, that's always good news when people come back and listen in again. Lots of exciting things coming up. Don't forget, there's also a newsletter from Health Etica Coaching. We might give Strides and Vibes its own little life in terms of social media. We might have its own, or it might get its own Instagram page. Probably not Facebook, but I can imagine that Instagram might be a good platform to start sharing the vibes and the striding. Yeah? And then last but not least, I also want to say thank you to Sue Buchs, my wife. She's always in the background. She helps with the podcast, of course. This is something we do together. She comes up with the great ideas and I'm kind of the face, but we never want to forget what happens in the background. She's also usually my crew chief when I run. So yeah, this is it. Let's hit it hard, stride long, and vibe higher. Signing out. See you soon, people. In February, I'll release the first guest or the first podcast with a guest. Cheers.